Imagine waking up in the morning and jumping out of bed because you are so excited to begin your day, because you are living a life of purpose, passion, and meaning. Well, that doesn't always happen that way. And today, I'm going to share with you a powerful process of discovering who you are meant to be. And it starts with one simple question. What were you doing when you were 10? See, I call this your 10-year-old self. The age 10 is significant. Prior to 10, you have a lot of parental influence. But after 10, then you have like pressure, social, and hormones set in. But at that innocent age of 10, that's where purpose and passion meet. That's when you become your authentic self. I remember the first time I asked myself this question. I was the VP of sales for a large corporation, and my team was #1 in the country. And on the outside, I'm sure I looked happy, satisfied, living the dream. But I drove to work every day with a pit in my stomach. I knew something was missing, and I knew it was time for a change. Well, my boss picked the wrong day to tell me to shut up and sit down. At that moment, I left corporate America, and I never went back. And I got into my car, and I'm driving home, and I was so happy. I was free. I was free to be me. I just needed to figure out who me was. Now, I knew I was the major breadwinner, and I knew I didn't have a job, so I started Googling and praying, trying to figure this out. And that's when I decided to have that conversation with my 10-year-old self. And I learned 2 truths. The first truth I discovered is I have been preparing my entire life to be who I'm meant to be. See, I grew up in a small coal mining town in Pennsylvania. My parents owned the local tavern, and we lived above it. I was fortunate enough to see my father really transform this dive bar into an amazing nightclub. And actually, it was one of the most popular wedding venues in Western Pennsylvania. He had an amazing, infectious, positive attitude. He would play Jim Rohn motivational cassette tapes throughout the house. If you want things to change, then you need to change. And he used to look at me in the eye and say, Christy, you can do anything you put your mind to. So it was those experiences that helped me discover my strengths. And I realized what I loved in my 20-year career. It was building businesses and inspiring others, just like my father. Well, and Christy, she gave me the courage to start my own business and to build that business around what I love and what I am great at. The second truth I discovered was we all have greatness within us. And we all have these hidden talents, and they just want to come out. I remember when I was 10, I loved to write. I would write in my journal every day. And I loved speaking, and I loved talking. I would stand in front of the mirror and read books out loud, articulating every word. And when I think about it, in corporate America, I was often asked not to speak. And the only writing I did was emails. But today, in my business, I get to use my God-given talents every day through blogging, articles, motivational speaking, my forthcoming book, Your 10-Year-Old Self. And heck, just last year, I started my own talk show at 55 because I can. And I'm not trying to prove myself. I'm just trying to be myself. And you can be yourself too. Now, not all memories are going to be happy ones, so be ready for that. But it's really what you learned from those memories that matter and how you overcame them. I asked my best friend what she remembers, and she was telling all these stories about her parents' divorce and how painful it was, and blending families, and just it was terrible. But through that reflection, she was able to really move forward in her life with confidence around her current situation. I asked my youngest daughter, Carson, what she was doing when she was 10, and she said, "Mom, I don't want to talk about it. That's when Papa died." And my heart stopped. I'm like, oh my gosh. He had emphysema most of her life, and they were extremely close. Well, today, Carson is a respiratory therapist, and she's amazing at what she does. She loves it, and she's feeling purposeful. She'll call me and say, "Mom, I'm saving lives." What about you? Maybe you should talk to your 10-year-old self, understand what your unique DNA is, your hidden talents, and all those life experiences, and then play connect the dots and be who you are meant to be.